at this segment where Kai would teach us some 3 tips for beginners, and our guinea pig for today is Yi Sin, he's a side correspondent and writer. So good luck, you guys have fun.
Alright, so essentially in beatboxing, I guess I've mentioned this in the interview, you know, there's a few basic beats, or what we call basic beats. Essentially it's the stuff that you're using to try and imitate the drums. So that's how beatboxing first came about. You know, there's a whole bunch of other things you can imitate, kind of noises, things like that, synth sounds, instrument sounds. But essentially it all comes down to the basics, and that's just the beats. So today the beats that I'm going to be showing you is essentially, you know, in a drum kit you've got like the kick drum, bass kick. So that's a sound. Then there's the hi-hats, which are really easy. And then you've got the snares, so it's like, oh. That takes a little more work, but we'll get to it. Alright, so yeah, I guess it's if you really want to make it 3 things, then it's going to be this first thing, bass kick, second thing, hi-hats, and third thing, snares. So let's go. First thing, bass kick. We're going to do, okay, essentially it's like doing a B sound, b. So you just say b, yeah. Burr. Okay, so essentially when I teach, especially in schools and stuff, I like to differentiate between aspirates and non-aspirates, the first thing, and then vocalized and non-vocalized. So all these basic sounds are non-vocalized sounds, so you're not going to be using your vocal cords to do them. Okay, so that's essentially how we get to doing many sounds at once, you know? Because you can essentially do a sound with your lips, or your teeth, or your tongue, or your vocal cords. So you can either use all these external stuff, or the vocal cords, or you can use both at the same time. So that's how you can create more than one sound at once. So we've got sounds that are purely made from here, we've got sounds that are purely made from here, and so all these basic sounds are purely made from here. Alright. So that's the first thing.
Good.
Yeah. You gotta get rid of all vocals, so just let your throat go, you know, don't need to bother about making sound. So first thing is to get to that sound first, you've got to know the mechanics of how your mouth is moving. So yeah, it's like making a bit of a kissy face. It's like, and then you blow without letting it go. You create a kind of pressure behind your lips. So it's like, yeah, it's like you want to make a raspberry, like, yeah, that kind of thing, right? You know, you're building pressure on your lips. So now the key is not to let go of the pressure. So your lips are
not to let go of the pressure.
Yeah, they're gonna stay shut while you create that pressure behind. It's kind of like.
So does the air actually come out?
No, not yet. No. Not yet. So now we're building up to it. Yeah, kind of like that. Alright.
Okay.
So when you've done that, right, what you want to do is, alright, first we'll do vocalized and then we'll do unvocalized.
Okay.
So first, if you were to vocalize it, it would be like making a boo sound. Boo.
Boo. Boo. Boo.
So your lips, you find boo. They're doing this thing, right? So what you gotta do is you gotta build pressure before the boo. Boo. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but not so much in the way that your lips are flappy. You know, you gotta keep it tight. So yeah, like that. That first one is good. This one. Alright, so if you've got this now, what you need to do is you need to just try opening your mouth a bit more after you do the sound. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. More pressure will create a heavier sound, stronger sound. Yeah, and that's pretty much your bass kick. So we're done with number 1. Nice.
Not that bad.
Not that bad, yeah. Okay, so now hi-hats. That's number 2. Hi-hats. Typically I do 2 kinds of hi-hats. So one is open and one is closed. You know, you've got a little pedal on the hi-hat that you can either do a or a And I guess with my acapella group we do a lot of jazz. So I've developed kind of a brush hi-hat. So it goes like. So it sounds more like you know, you're using the brushes. But in this case, let's just stick to hi-hat, simple, open and close. So the close hi-hat is one where you cut it off, so you know everyone can do the sound, right? Yeah. So this one you gotta make sure that you're just letting air out. Yeah. So when you do a close hi-hat, you're cutting off the sound with your tongue on the roof of your mouth, right? Or behind your teeth actually. So you cut off the sound with your tongue. And so for an open hi-hat is when the 2 leaves of the hi-hat are you know, they're not close together, they're open. So it sustains a bit longer. So you just breathe out more. Yeah. That's it. So close hi-hat and the open hi-hat. Yeah, but you can afford to be gentler on the hi-hats, you know. You don't have to use so much air on it. Just make sure the air is flowing. It's
free flowing.
Yeah, free flowing, that's it. So of course, big important tip here is you gotta remember to breathe in before you breathe out. So before you make sure you put enough air. So that's one thing. So right now we've done number 1, bass kick. Close. Alright, and number 2, hi-hats. And yeah, try not to cut off with the middle of your tongue going up to make a K. You know, like if you try and cut off with, I'm overemphasizing it, but you know, if you try to cut off with that, it makes it difficult for you to form the next beat.
Okay.
And it's also difficult for the air to keep flowing. So what you want to do is use the tip of your tongue right behind your teeth, front teeth, to try and stop the sound. So instead of a yeah, like that.
So you leave the tongue.
Yeah, you leave the tongue there.
Okay.
And
Okay.
kind of sounds. So that's a variant. It's okay. So these two sounds. Now we move on to the snares. All right. So essentially, right now what we've got is we've got the bass kick, we've got the hi hat, and essentially you can combine these to make some kind of a beat. It goes. Oh wait, look, I've already moved into snares. So yeah, that's the thing. You can create a semi-decent beat, but it's not so great without something that contrasts it, you know, the snare. So the bass kick is really the base of this rhythm. The snare is something that brings in that mid-range contrast, and the hi-hats are something that are more high-range and they kind of fill in the space. So essentially, for snares, there are a few types. There's the inward K, there's the outward PF. All these sounds are a little more advanced, so let's try something simpler. It's gonna be the outward K. It's
the outward K.
Yeah, that's it. So with a little more air, a little more force, you gotta spit it out. You know, beatboxing is the one thing where you get to make noises, root noises by spitting, and people tend to pay you for it. It's actually quite cool. So yeah, more air. I found that helps if you try to puff out your cheeks more with air. So it's like if you clench your teeth together very lightly, So you're not clenching them. Yeah, and then you puff out your cheeks. Yeah. Okay, try to do just one. Okay, you're doing it it's very constricted, it's very tight. You want to just let the air go. Okay. That's why puffing out your cheeks helps. Just do it easily and naturally. Yeah, don't cut it off, don't truncate it. Just let it sustain. Yeah.
Okay.
So pretty much that. So you've got kind of stuff. Alright, yeah, so essentially, you know, it's not easy to learn this really fast, but what I would advise you to do now is you go back and you work on the foundations of each of these things. Make sure they're solid, and then you'll be able to put together the individual sounds into a rhythm.
Okay.
So right now, that's pretty much my 3 tips. Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
Awesome, thank you.